Do you know the importance of taking care of your spiritual vessel? Right? Because so many people on this path, they try to relinquish all worldly desires and attachments, which in itself is perfectly fine. But we have to also live a worldly life, an embodied life, a fulfilled human life. And so we can't negate the fact that we have to relate to this human experience. No. And the way in which we take care of this human being is to look at the physical needs. What are we feeding our system? The fuel, the supply needed to sustain this organism. What are we doing in the way of moving this body that facilitates health, growth, anabolic stimulus, that moves the lymphatic system, that moves the blood, that pumps the heart, right? What are we doing in the realm of taking care of our emotional stagnancies, our traumas, our childhood wounds? How are we taking care of our mental faculties, the thoughts that keep repeating themselves? How are we showing up in this human life relating to other people? Right? Because you can sit on the meditation cushion, you can stay in the confines of your temple at home and be perfectly at peace. But the moment you step outside that door, someone will trigger you, something will confront you, and it will confront the level of your understanding. And so, in those moments, you have to be fully grounded and anchored in. You have to be in full confidence of your understanding. And the way to be in the greatest confidence in yourself is to embody your understanding in all levels possible. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Right? And so taking care of yourself in all these ways, it will build you up from within. It will, rather than negating you, rather than destroying and pulling away from and going beyond, only seeing the most divine, you step into experience. Rather than stepping away, we step into experience. We don't negate experience. We don't try to dismiss it. Because this experience is also God, is also pure awareness. So I want you to really take that in. That to live a spiritually fulfilled life, you have to understand that all of life is spiritual. There is nothing in this world that isn't harmonized to whatever you consider spirituality to be. Spirituality, in my view, is simply the awareness with which everything is. The awareness in which everything is and is made of. And so that awareness which is present right now, watching this video and conveying these words to you listening, is also the awareness which facilitates these muscles and this pristine health that I try to embody every day of my life. And the way that I show up for myself is also the way in which I'm able to show up for you. And so when I show up offering my spiritual life coaching program, which you'll find in the description down below, what you see represented when I devote my undivided attention to you needs to be a representation of all that I have been able to cultivate, facilitate, and embody in myself, isn't it? When I look at a frail, pale, dry spiritual teacher, I'm not inspired. I don't feel invigorated. I don't feel the weight of their understanding being conveyed in a fruitful manner. No, I see that there's capacity for so much more in such an individual, to step into even more in their life, to take care of this human being life in a much grander way. So I'm inspired by people who are able to balance their physical, emotional, mental lives with the spiritual understanding that they have realized for themselves, right? This is inspiring to me. Watching someone that is fully alive and feels alive to me, present and conveying the energy that is surging through them. That is fucking cool. Sorry for swearing. That is freaking cool, right? That empowers you, that inspires you, that invigorates your senses. Because you see here that there is someone who feels deeply, who senses intuitively, who knows that there is so much more to spirituality than simply going the higher route at all times. And by going the tantric route of unifying the subject-object in experience right here. And if you don't know what that means, it simply means the merging of the seeming division, which is still apparent when we keep dividing ourselves out until the point at which we only see pure awareness. There is still, at that point, a subtle division that we create. So the way to close that division is to step forth towards experience, towards this human experience, and to see that this world, this human body mind, is not at odds with the Most High, is not at odds with your spiritual understanding. No, it is a result thereof also. It is all the activity in this spiritual, elaborate sensorium of existence. And so when we begin to take care in this way, when we gain the groundedness, the centeredness, the confidence in ourselves, we become conduits for a greater way to convey this understanding. And that just reaches people in a different way. And it is my view, at least, that we live in times of embodiment. We live in times where we have, at this pivoting point in human existence, we have the capability to step into the golden age, an age where we live from an empowered, abundant, fulfilled, embodied place in ourselves, and to share that from a compassionate, loving place, right? And I think that is best done by holistically taking care of all of our needs, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And so I urge you to show up in the best way that you know possible, and you know how to take care of yourself. You know what needs to be done, because your body, your mind, your emotions that you have buried down, they scream for you to take action. They scream to be released. So release them at once. Start taking the necessary action. Do what you must to show up today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Keep showing up. And when you continue to do so, you will find that your spiritual realizations, which I'm sure you've gained going on this path for however long you've been, it will start to just be anchored in, cemented in, and you will be a physical, lively representation of all that you have realized in yourself. Step into that. You have the full capacity to do that. I urge you, do it today. I wish you all the absolute best. Till I see you next time. Bye.